guys, it's Caitlin from Caitlin and Jazz Books, and today I'm going to be doing the Mid-Year Freakout tag because it's halfway through 2017. Like, when did that happen? Also, I've moved the camera more over this way, which is because I prefer these shelves, this shelf to this shelf, if I'm being honest. The bit I prefer is up there, so you can't see it still, but to me, this is getting what I want, so... just to let you know, I haven't planned this tag or anything. I'm just sort of rolling with it. So when all the questions are answered with the same book, that's why. Also, it is currently 27 degrees here in England and it's not even midday yet. So if I complain about being hot, it's because I'm British and this is a very British thing to do. As soon as the sun is out, we complain about the heat, and as soon as the sun goes away, we complain about the fact that it's not hot. So yeah, my apologies if I do that. So question number 1 is best book that you've read so far in 2017. It was 2015 on the tag, but I mean it's 2017 now, so. And for me, that is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Hands up if you knew that this book was going to be my favourite book. No one else? Okay. But I adore this book. I absolutely love this trilogy so much. This book is probably going to be, like, mentioned so many times throughout this video. Oh my god, it's so hot. I'm actually like sweating. Anyway, yeah, I just love this book. And Resand, thank you. Question number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2017. I've only actually read one sequel that's like a proper sequel and not like a third book in a series or whatever, so I'm going with that. It was still a very good book, and that was Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, which is the second book in the Dark Artifice, I can't say that word, so trilogy, which comes, this is the second one after Lady Midnight. This was absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness, I loved it so much. And Jason Clary were in this one a lot more than they were in the first one, hence why I liked it so much. Actually, something happened with Clary in this one, and I was like, okay, what do you mean? If you've read it, you'll know what I mean. But this is an amazing sequel. It is amazing, honestly. Her books just get better as she carries on writing them. Like, I'm never going to grow old of her writing because I just love her world that she's created and her writing style and the characters that she's created. So all in all, this book was very good. Question number 3 is a new release you haven't read yet but you want to, and for me that is Perfect by Cecilia Ahern, which is the second book to Flawed. And when did this come out? I got this for my birthday and I have yet to read it, but it came out 2017, that's great. When did it? Doesn't want to say what month, but I feel like it came out in like April. So it's fairly new. Sorry, it's hardback, so I'm just gonna... yeah, it's fairly new, and I'm really excited to read it, just because I really like Flawed, and before I completely forget what happened, I need to read this. I'm gonna read it once I get back from holiday, and before I go on NCS, so hopefully it should be read soon. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Don't know the author, so I think I know the author, but if I'm wrong, then you can correct me, but I'm just gonna like guess. Alex and Eliza by Melissa de Cruz, something like that. I love Hamilton. This book's about Hamilton. I'm excited. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Question 5 is biggest disappointment, and for me that is Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han. Unfortunately, I mean, I love the first 2, and I was really sad when I learned that it was only going to be a duology, and then she said there was going to be a third book, and I was over the moon ecstatic, because I read the first one a couple months after it came out, and then I read the second one as soon as it came out, so I've been like waiting for the last one for a long time, and I got my hands on it, and I just didn't like it. I just felt like it wasn't needed. It's tiny compared to the other ones. It was like 310 pages, tiny compared to the other ones. It just wasn't needed, and she mentioned Hamilton about 50 times, she mentioned Harry Potter about 50 times, and like, fair enough, if you want to do that, just do it once and not like every other page, to the point when I'm like, stop it, just stop it. So yeah, this was my biggest disappointment, unfortunately. Question number 6 is biggest surprise, and that was On the Other Side by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I love Carrie Hope Fletcher, so like, not surprised that I like books by her, but I'm surprised that she could write so well for someone whose main job isn't an author, whose main job is stage acting on musicals, like all that jazz. So for me, the reason that I'm surprised by this is because it wasn't a book that I had like in my radar to read, because I didn't think that she was going to be that great of an author. And then when I read it, I was like, wow, she can actually write, and now I'm looking forward to her next book, which is coming out pretty soon. So I mean, she did well there, right? That's the whole point of books. I don't know what I'm saying. Question 7 is favourite new author, debut or just new to you? So for me, the only debut author that I've read is Carrie Hope Fletcher, because she wrote a book before that one, but it wasn't fictional. It was a memoir. So this is like not a debut but new to me, and that is Kira Cass, who wrote the Selection series. I read her whole series, this series, earlier this year. Absolutely adored it, loved her writing, and loved the story that she came up with, and I want to read her other series, which has The Siren in it. I don't know if that's the first book or the second book, I don't know, I've just seen that one. The cover's really pretty though. Yeah, but I really like her writing, and I do want to read more of her stuff, just haven't got around to it yet. So yeah, this might have been a debut novel for her as well, but she's not a debut author anymore, because I mean she's written loads now, but this might have been. I don't really know, but it's a new author to me, so. Question 8 is newest fictional crush. I'll let you all guess what this is. You all know what it's going to be. Rhysand from A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. I'm holding up this one because this is the one that he's mostly in, other than the first one, but I love Rhysand so much, and I am married to him in my head. Yay. Question number 9 is newest favourite character, and for me that is pretty much any character from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, both the film and the screenplay, because I mean they're the same exact thing. Ed Redmayne, love him. So Newt is one of my favourite characters, and then I just like all of them. So yeah. Also, I would say that one of my favourite characters is the Niffler, because I mean I just love Nifflers. They are so cute. But anyway, all of J.K. Rowling's characters, I just adore them all. Even Voldemort, except for Umbridge. That's such a lie. I hate Umbridge, but I mean, who likes Umbridge? She's like that character that everyone just loves to hate. It's kind of great. But yeah, so if we're talking about favourite characters, Newt or the Niffler. Question 10 is book that made you cry, and for me, that is The Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, just because I relate to the story a lot and I know exactly what he was going through, and I just understood it in a way that most people wouldn't be able to understand it, and the end made me cry a lot. Yeah. Question 11 is a book that made you happy, and that is The Scarecrow King by Melinda Salisbury. The reason this made me happy is because this is one of my all-time favourite trilogies, and this book came out this year, and I was so excited to read it, and it was so good. And it ended like just how I wanted it to end, except for someone died who I really didn't want them to die. But that made me sad, but then the ending ended really nicely, and it had two people. It had both Twyla and Erin's point of view, so that's what I wanted, because I didn't want it to be in just Erin's point of view or just Twyla's point of view, because the previous two books the first one was in Twyla's point of view and then the second one was in Erin's point of view, and I didn't want it just have one point of view, because we'd been introduced to both of them, and I didn't want it to be Erin, mostly because my favourite out of the two was Twyla, and I didn't want it to be just in Twyla's point of view because I'd grown to love Erin so much, and Erin's story hadn't finished, and they were both in pretty big predicaments, so I mean, they both needed to be sorted out, and they were wrapped up very nicely in this one, and I loved it, and I was just so happy to have this book. Question number 12 is favourite book to film adaptation I've seen this year. I haven't seen any book to films, but I've watched a couple book to TV. So I just ran up the stairs to get this book, and now I'm really out of breath. Oh yeah, I've watched a couple book to TV adaptations. So I have two for this. Well, yeah, two. One of them I do have the book for, and one of them I don't have the book for. So I'll start with the one that I don't have the book for. So the first one which I don't have the book for is 13 Reasons Why, by someone whose name I cannot remember. I've watched the TV show, watched it within a week of it coming out, and I like finished it before the week of it coming out was up. Crazy. I love this show so much. I've watched it twice. I just love it. I think it has such a powerful message that goes along with it, and they just do it really well. So yeah, 13 Reasons Why is the first one. And the second one is a TV show that is coming out week by week, and that is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. My friend sent me this down to read. I haven't read it yet, but I'm planning on reading it. But I love the TV show. It's on like episode 4 of 10. I can't remember what it's on, like what channel it's on, but it's on a BBC channel. So it's so good, honestly. The actors are amazing, and you just feel for them, because what's going on with most of them is absolutely horrendous. But the scary thing about it is, because it's dystopian, you can totally see it happening in the future. But luckily, it's all in America and not here, so I mean, I'm winning. Question 13 is favourite review you've written this year, and in brackets, booktube version. Question 13 is favourite video that you've done so far this year. Favourite video. So for me, that would be the Hamilton book tag, which was the previous video I did, because I did different editing for it, and I was really proud of it. And I love Hamilton, so I really enjoyed talking about books that went along with some of my favourite songs. So yeah, that was probably one of my favourite videos to film. I also liked, if I'm doing videos that I did with Jasmine, we had our 1 year anniversary on BookTube, so we did the not a BookTube newbie tag for that one, and that was really fun because we had banners in the background and we blew up balloons, and we had like a cake which we blew out the candle of, and we sang happy birthday to our channel, and it was really nice because yeah, we obviously hit a milestone with being on for a year, and we didn't expect to be on for a year. Anyway, that got very deep very quickly, but yeah, those are my two favourite videos that I've done this year. 14 is most beautiful book that you've bought this year so far or received. I have two for this. One of them is an ARC and one of them isn't. So the ARC that I think is the most beautiful is The Waking Land by Callie Bates. So this is the cover, the ARC is. The cover for the actual book is also just as pretty. That's the cover for the actual book. But I really love this cover just because it's kind of minimalistic, but it's like got all these fireflies in the background, and you can see these trees in the background, and then like these nice green leaves here, and it's just really pretty. And this is the bookmark that came with it, which is also just as pretty. But I mean, I love this cover so much. It's so gorgeous, and it has this map, which is nice as well. And then the book that I was gifted, which is one of my, well, probably is the prettiest book I've ever seen, other than The Scarecrow, the Sin Eater's Daughter. And that is A Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. This book is absolutely gorgeous. Like the colours, the girl, the fact that the map is on the end pages. Honestly, everything about this book just makes me extremely happy. Except for the fact that it does do that, like, that thing, yeah. Oh, I found the bookmark. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was clicking through. So yeah, those are my two prettiest book covers. Question 15 is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And I have 3 for this, so I'll just start with the order that I pulled them off the shelf. The first one is The Art of Being Normal by Lisa Williamson, because my mum gave this to me Christmas 2 years ago, so I really need to read this because I feel bad that I haven't read it yet. And I also have it signed, so I mean, it sounds really good. It's about transgender girl. Cool. That was a struggle. Oh, that would have been easy. A transgender girl, if I just looked at the cover. Anyway, it sounds really interesting, and I want to read more diverse books that have to do with the LGBTQ community. I think that's it. I struggle with remembering letters. But this is book number 1. Book number 2 is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, because I really want to read Crooked Kingdom, and I want to read her other trilogy, Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. I'm aware that this is sort of like a companion to these, so you're supposed to read these first, but I don't really care because I have this one and not the other 3, so I'll be reading this one first. And I just really want to read this because it's supposed to be absolutely amazing, and it's like, oh, I'm so looking forward to it. And I've got a signed book plate in it, so. And then Book number 3 is Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas, which is the last book that's out so far of the Throne of Glass series, and I really need to read this just because I want to be caught up with all her books, and I'm caught up with her Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy series thing, and I'm not caught up on this yet. The only reason that I haven't read it yet is because it's massive, and I haven't had the time. Having said that, I've read Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin, but yeah, it's just very pretty, and the back of it is gorgeous. So yeah, that's the mid-year freakout tag. Hope you guys enjoyed. I tag all of you guys watching. Leave a like, comment and subscribe if you want to, and someone will see you next time. Bye guys!